So I got this Victor deck that I'm working on, right? And the idea is, I want to do something for spooky season. I thought Victor would be pretty easy to cosplay as, because, like, look at them. Future me edited in a picture of Victor's card here. It's just like a cool moth shawl. So I got this, like, shawl, but it's not red. I have another scarf. It's in the other room. I'm not putting it on right now just to record this, though. Anyway, the idea of the deck is, if you don't know the card, it's when they're like a constellation effect or an eerie effect because it's Duskmourn, where when enchantment you control enters, do a thing. But it says do a thing if this was the first time, do a different thing if it was the second, and do a different thing if it was the third. And then it caps out. They don't get to keep going, which makes them a little bit awkward. You can't just like keep going off. But honestly, how many enchantments are entering the battlefield each turn? Probably like 1 or 2. So it's actually kind of hard to hit that 3 modes is in practice. So you need to be able to take advantage of the early modes and or set yourself up to doing all 3. So I started building this deck with the idea of like, what if I could set up a board of creature enchantments and then blink my whole board? Now it turns out there's not as many blink your entire board effects as I thought. There's another round, which is sorcery speed. And then there's a few blink your entire board slowly so that you can like dodge a board wipe. And I love those effects. They're super good. They're very versatile. You can just throw them in a deck. And that's what I'm really excited about. So the idea is that we have these cards that are just generally useful, right? If you have an ETB you want to repeat, we can do that. If we want to dodge some removal, we can do that. If we want to dodge a board wipe, we can do that. So we can just hold up a few mana to blink our entire board slowly to dodge that style of interaction. And then when they enter, Victor will see all 3 or more enchantment creatures enter, which will trigger him 3 times. First mode, Surveil 2. Second mode, each opponent discards a card. Third mode, reanimate something from anyone's graveyard. If our opponents are playing cool big things, we can shift our game plan and just resurrect a big cool thing and blah, blah, blah. But if not, we want to have a few haymakers in our deck. Probably we don't want to put too many because they're going to slow down the deck and be kind of dead cards unless we run other reanimation. And I think I probably will run some other reanimation in the deck. That seems fun to me. The deck's not super done yet. I really just want to talk about the main combo. And so that's what I'm leading to, which is Angel of Glory's Rise. This card is silly. The way that it works is that when it enters, you exile all zombies and then reanimate all humans. But for our purposes, Victor is a human, and there's a surprisingly a lot of enchantment creature humans. Now, my original plan was to use Secret Arcade, which will turn all of our creatures into enchantments, and then we can just use any humans to make this work. But there's actually a lot of enchantment creature humans, so we can just use those. So we have 3 enchantment creature humans on the board. We blink them, they come back, Victor sees them enter, we then reanimate Angel of Glory's Rise. If we have a sack outlet, and it needs to be a sack outlet that won't disappear when we blink our entire board. If we have a sack outlet, we can sacrifice our entire board, including Victor, and then Angel of Glory's Rise will return all of those humans. We then also sacrifice Angel of Glory Rise, so it's back in the bin, and then all of those humans enter alongside Victor, and once again, they're enchantments, so we get to trigger Victor 3 more times, bring back Angel of Glory's Rise. Because that's the thing. Victor specifically says that if it's the first time, do this, the second time, do this, and the third time, do this, and then stop. But it doesn't say if it's the first time an enchantment entered under your control. It's if it's the first time this ability resolved. As such, if we blink our Victor, either blinking them into the sky or blinking them through the graveyard, we reset that state of 3. So we can now go infinite here. Yay! I don't know why, I just really enjoy going infinite. I think it's really fun, especially when it's as ridiculous of a combo as have Victor in the field, have 3 enchantments enter, have 3 enchantment humans either on the field or in the graveyard, bring back Angel of Glory's Rise, which is the only card in the deck that does this. Otherwise, you have nothing that's relevant. So I guess you better run like an Entomb or something if you want to actually run them. It's way too complicated. The reason I think it's still going to be kind of an interesting deck is that it's a weird win con. Again, you need to actually, it doesn't even win. You still need to have like a Blood Artist effect so that it matters, but whatever. It's a cool little win con to put into our deck where all the pieces still feel relevant. The blink your entire board. Very useful effect. We can use it to dodge interaction, or we can just use it to blink our entire board, which can get us a lot of value. We can resurrect things that aren't Angel of Glory's Rise just to have a big beater and do that. We can also just not go infinite and instead just use Angel of Glorious Rise to bring back all of our humans, especially if we're using our blink pieces to do it, right? Remember, if I am trying to blink my entire board at instant speed to dodge a board wipe, everyone else loses their board, but our board comes back and brings back a big beater and or Angel to bring back even more humans. So we're filling the bin with our Surveil. We're bringing things back with either Mass Reanimation or Angel of Glory's Rise or Spot Reanimation via Victor. I feel like the deck should work pretty well. Actually figuring out the specific numbers to make it not feel bloated and awkward, that'll come. But honestly, my list is never going to be perfect anyway, so I'm really more interested in sharing the idea of the deck with you, and you can build a better version yourself. Have a happy Halloween. May Valgavoth smile upon you and not devour your souls too quickly. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. I probably should have actually thought about what Valgavoth would do and what the cult of Valgavoth would wish you. What greeting would it wish you, or salutations? Good night!